There are things about youth that only youth knows, but what I recall most clearly was sitting in the back of the caravan, wearing red, staring out at the roads going backwards. I was 6 years old. My hair was cut short. I'd hacked it off with a knife. I tell this to you directly. There is no other way to say it. My mother was gone, my father, my brother, my sisters and cousins too. They had been driven out on the ice by the Hlinka guards. Fires were lit in a ring around the shore, and guns were pointed so they could not escape. The caravans were forced to the middle of the lake as the day grew warmer. The ice cracked, the wheels sank, and the rest followed. Harps and wheels and horses. I did not see any of it happen, daughter, but I could hear it in my mind, and although there was great music to come along later, sweet-sounding moments when our people were raised up and strong and valued, that will always be a time of looking backwards, listening and waiting for my dead family to catch up. Only grandfather and I escaped. We had been out beyond the lake, traveling 3 full days. We came back to silence. He clapped his hand over my mouth. The horse reared and the caravan shuddered. Ash from dead fires ringed the lake. Grandfather jumped to the ground. "Wait here," he said. He was not a man with whom you could dispute. He thought that places were good and most people were good, but the rules they put on the places were vile, and that people became vile with them. He did not wait to shed a tear, nor did he pick up the hats and scarves and boxes that were floating among the shards of ice. Instead, he walked across to me, his hair at his shoulders, and said, "Quick now and silent, Zoli. Don't say a word." We pulled the curtains on the windows and wrapped the sharp knives in towels so they would not clink. He draped the mirror in a shirt. All the dishes were put in cloths. The road we took was small, with a line of green down the middle, 2 mud tracks worn on either side. It was already spring, which was why the ice had cracked. Small buds were beginning on the trees. Birds whistled, and the sun was bright as tin. I shut my eyes against it. I kept waiting for my mother to appear, my father too, my brother and my 2 sisters, all my cousins as well. But grandfather pulled me close, looked over his shoulder and said, "Listen here, child. The Hlinkas are still out there. You must not make another sound." I had seen the Hlinkas, the leather boots that wrinkled below their knees, the billy clubs that slapped along their thighs, the rifles across their chests, the roll of fat at the back of their necks. Grandfather guided Red along until dark, then pulled us into a grove of trees. The stars were like claw marks above us. I sat in the corner and rocked back and forth, then chopped my hair off with a very sharp knife. I hid the braids in my pillow. When grandfather saw me, he slapped my face twice and said, "What have you done?" He took one of the braids, put it in his pocket, pulled me close, and whispered to me that my mother had once done the same when she was a child. It was not a good thing. It was against our laws. When we woke, there were dark marks in a line down my grandfather's cheeks. He went outside, plunged his face in a stream, fed some snow melt to Red, and we went on. For days we traveled, first light until last. We went through a village where the 4-faced clock tower told 3 different times. The shops were open and the market was bustling. When we entered the square, grandfather's shoulders went stiff. Some Hlinkas were gathered around the church steps, laughing and smoking. They fell silent when they heard the clopping of our horse. An armored truck came from behind the clock tower. "Quiet now," said grandfather. He whipped Red's rump and we left quickly, out past the church and into the countryside, far away. "Fascist snakes," he said. We knocked on every door looking for food, and late in the evening we came upon a laneway with high brambles. A stone house sat surrounded by high trees. A cat watched from a windowsill. Grandfather bartered with a peasant to repair a gable wall in exchange for some soup and a little money. The peasant said, "Go ahead and fix the wall first.